Good morning, everybody. We want to talk about the healing, the miraculous healing of LeBron James. Now, we've talked about LeBron James, how that we believe, how he has faked his injury, how he has did all of these different things. And then out of the blue, last night he decided to play basketball. Now, what is up with that? Seriously, what is up with that? Is we going to look into this situation as LeBron James has been MIA for the past, I don't know how many games. Okay. Now, we had heard that he was going to probably be out for a good bit longer because of the swelling in his knee. But then all of a sudden, I hear today that LeBron James was going to play against the Knicks. Come on now. Tell me, where is the reasoning in how that LeBron James goes to being a cripple to dunking all over the place last night against the New York Knicks? The Lakers was getting blown out pretty much at halftime. What, 15, 16 points? So the Lakers make a big comeback, and Lakers had about a 7 point lead with a little over a minute to play. Turn around and blew that lead. Not only did they blow the 7 point lead, it went into overtime. It went down pretty much to the wire, but the Lakers they held out, won the game. LeBron James, he got his triple double. They benched Russell Westbrook. I looked at the stats at what Russell Westbrook was playing last night, and I don't know if he has lost all of his confidence or what is going on with Russell Westbrook, but something is going on with this guy. He was just terrible last night. If it hadn't been for the big play of Anthony Davis and that LeBron James, Malik Monk, so and such, but let's get away from all of that right now. Let's just go to what we know. Again, LeBron James supposedly supposed to have been hurt, swelling in his knee. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I guess he gets a miraculous healing and he decides to play against the Knicks. What is LeBron James' agenda? It's all over the sports world. It's all over the sports news that LeBron James is planning on leaving the Lakers. But I do believe that the pressure that was put on LeBron James, not just by Laker fans, but by other teams, looking maybe to try to obtain LeBron James in the future, So what happened was LeBron knew that he was going to have to play or face more criticism, which he probably didn't care too much. Or is it just that he came back because he wants to play in the All Star game? Well, I've got a lot of theories. I've got a lot of things. I've heard rumors from he may go back to Miami, maybe back to Cleveland. Lord of mercy. I have heard it all. But the one thing that I know is you don't go from being an injured player as he was supposed to be in to somebody that's dunking on everybody, that's doesn't even look like he was exhausted in that game, even going into overtime. Something tells me that I believe that there is something going on with LeBron James. Now, we know that he would definitely leave the Lakers if it took leaving to play with his son. But with everything that is going on in the NBA, there's so many players that are being injured. I mean, it just seems like it's just injury after injury for team after team. Carmelo got hurt for the Lakers. Hopefully, he'll be back soon. He's very much needed, especially with Russell Westbrook. I believe they're going to have to totally bench him. I think he shot what, 1 for 7. I don't remember how many points he had. Maybe 5 points, something like that. It was just total a mess. They had to just completely bench Russell Westbrook. They had to totally take him out of that game in overtime, and again they barely still pulled it off. But I think the trade deadline is February the 14th. I don't see the Lakers making any type of moves. Um, you hear rumors and rumors and rumors, but you don't see them happening. But again, this is just what I believe and what I think. Um, but I mean, if you look at it um, in a um, in an objective way, um, there's got to be some type of hidden agenda that LeBron James has for what he has been doing. Is it load management, which again makes no sense? Um, again, um, I just think that I want LeBron to make up his mind what he's going to do. Um, I believe the Lakers need to make at least some small moves uh, before the trade deadline, but right now it doesn't look like they're going to do probably anything. But that is still to see till the trade deadline is up. Now, teams like the Clippers have made moves. Other teams are planning on making moves. But we'll have to see all in all who ends up with who. Uh, before the All Star break. And I want to do a video coming. Um, I'd like to do the video at least um, maybe tonight, maybe sometime tomorrow or the next day. I'd like to do a top 10 greatest NBA superstars of all time. My top 10. I think you'll be surprised what my top 10 would be. And I'd be interesting to see what you think of my list of top 10 NBA players. Um, but as far as sports goes right now, there's just so much going on. You've got um, you've got boxing going on. There's been some great matches going on in boxing, especially with Keith Thurman winning last night. But mainly, um, I think the Lakers, they need. I just don't think they're going to be able to move Russell Westbrook. Um, Not unless it's just a team that is willing to, you know, uh, to take some type of chance on him. Um, Other than that, I don't believe anybody else would be interested. Now, I've been hearing how Julius Randle's had all these issues with the Knicks, and then he turned around and played last night. Julius Randle and RJ Barrett was just destroying the Lakers. Those two players in themselves was destroying the Los Angeles Lakers. Um, they had several players in double figures in scoring, but those two players right there by themselves almost beat the Lakers. Um, but I can also say the same thing for the Lakers with Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Um, but again, I have seen the Lakers go into overtime. Can't count how many times, and I know they've only lost, I think, one time in overtime, and that was the triple overtime game they lost to the Sacramento Kings, I believe. But other than that, I have watched this team. I have made videos um, talking about LeBron James and uh, how that I believe he's leaving. I still do believe that LeBron is leaving, but it just proves to me that him going around like he is hurt um, and injured so bad, he's got these ice packs on his knees and all this and that, missing training, missing shoot arounds, and then all of a sudden he decides to play. It's just odd. It's just funny. And me being a huge Laker fan, man, I tell you what, I wished, there's so many times that I wish the Lakers could have got some other big stars. Um, I love Anthony Davis. Man, he is a great player. If he could just put his mind and set his mind to have that winning mentality again. That mentality that he wants to go out there and play hard. And I'm telling you, ever since he's been back, he has played hard. His rebounds has been unbelievable. His blocks, his scoring, all unbelievable. And if he could stay playing like he is, if the Lakers could just, just do something to add and to help um, with the load, the scoring load, and defensive load, because most all of the Laker players either don't defend or they're not good defenders, pretty much. Um, but as far as LeBron James goes, um, I don't know what his plans are, whether it's to go back to Cleveland. I know he spoke that he wanted to retire as a Laker. But again, um, I just don't believe that's what's going to happen. Um, Too many things has went wrong this season. He expected to get off to a big start, and that didn't happen. Um, but it is what it is. Um, I don't see LeBron going anywhere this year, and I just do not see LeBron going to be out there to play like he needs to play and should play. Not enough to get the Lakers into the playoffs. Um, but if I'm wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong. But I just, like I said, I don't see it. Um, but in all the things that I have seen, I have never seen a messed up team more than the Lakers. I've never seen a Laker team like this. They're either getting blown out, or they blow big leads, or they go in overtime, and it's just totally crazy. Um, and me being a Laker fan, you know, I could take losing to a certain point, but it's how you lose is what makes me angry, um, and aggravates me, is how they win or they lose. Um, I wish they would beat the Clippers the other night. LeBron didn't play. Um, and the Clippers made made some trades. Um, Now I'm wondering if that will hurt them or help them. You would think that the trades would help, but I mean, they didn't have the best team going, but they did have a decent team, I believe, that could make the playoffs. I think they are for real, uh, especially when it comes to playing defense and other things like that. But we'll have to see how that affects the Lakers. And and to me, if I could just trade Russell Westbrook for just a small piece, save yourself some money, maybe get you another small piece somewhere else. Maybe there'll be some buyouts pretty soon. Um, but we will see what the roster will look like going in and after the All Star break. Um, but with everything going on, the NBA is so wide open because of all the injuries that have taken place. It just seems one injury after another. No team seems to be able to stay healthy and to be able to stay um, uh, free from injuries. It just seems like it's one injury after another. Um, but again, you know, um, it doesn't matter if LeBron and AD plays at the same time. They still find a way to lose, or they still barely win when they do play. Um, I don't know what's happened to their chemistry. They still score a lot. Um, I just don't know. Defensively, there's something lacking um, on this team. Um, and I can't pinpoint it, but they need to figure something out. And I think Russell Westbrook is going to have to be benched full time. I don't see him playing um, too much unless it is coming off the bench. But if you've got a good lead and you want to put him in there, um, that's a big mistake because um, he's so worried about getting his triple doubles and all this and that. It is just pathetic. I just want to give you out the stats tonight, and I want you to pay close attention to the stats of this Laker game, and as the Lakers won 122 to 115. Um, they won by only 7 points, but that's not um, what I'm going to get into. I'm going to talk about the New York Knicks, and we're going to just talk about the ones that played for the New York Knicks, and we're going to talk about the Knicks. We did see them have 4 players in double figures in scoring. So let's get to the lowest scorer. Quickly, who played a total of 5 minutes with 0 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 assist, and 0 points uh, for the Knicks. Um, Next was Grimes, who played a total of 15 minutes, 4 rebounds, 0 assists, and also 0 points. Those was the lowest scores last night for the New York Knicks. Now, the next high score was Toppin, who played a total of 12 minutes. He had 5 rebounds, no assists, and 4 points. And get this, Mitchell Robinson, who played a total of 30 minutes, he did have 11 huge rebounds, no assists, but only 4 points. There's one of your reasons that they lost. Um, the next high score was Nerlens Noel, who played a total of 23 minutes with 1 rebound, 1 assist, and 5 points. Uh, The next high score on the Knicks was Kemba Walker, who played a total of 23 minutes, 1 rebound, 3 assists, and 7 points last night. The rest of the Knicks scored in double figures. Those players was Alex Burks, who played a total of 29 minutes, who had 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 12 points. So he did have a pretty decent performance. The next high score for the Knicks was Evan Fournier, who total played a whopping 37 minutes, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 15 points. Now, the next two scores was really the biggest difference for the New York Knicks. Julius Randle, who played 41 minutes, had 16 rebounds, 7 assists, and 32 points. No, I thought him and the Knicks wasn't getting along, but it sounded like he did pretty good last night. But R.J. Barrett, this kid is something special. He played a total of, get this, 50 minutes. How many players do you hear playing 50 minutes? 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 36 points. He was just totally destroying the Lakers. He was just totally destroying them. They couldn't stop this kid. And the Lakers are going to have to find ways that they can stop these point guards and get some defense on these players. Now, we're going to talk about the Lakers players. They had 4 players in double figures. But we're going to start with the lowest player that played for the Lakers last night, DeAndre Jordan, who played a total of 3 minutes, had 2 rebounds, no assists, and 0 points. The next high score for the Lakers was Avery Bradley, who scored. He had 1 rebound, no assists, and 0 points in those 13 minutes. The next high score was THT, Talon Horton Tucker, who played 24 minutes, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and only 2 points. What happened to him? 2 points. Seriously. And people want to talk about him being a future superstar, only scoring 2 points. Come on, man. Oh, man. This stat right here kills you. Russell Westbrook played a total of 29 minutes, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, and only 5 points. Get that. 5 points is all that Russell Westbrook had. I'm telling you, something is going on with him, man. I don't know, but something's up with Russell Westbrook. That I've never seen him this bad in his entire career that I can remember. But anyway, the next highest player was Austin Reeves, who played a total of 18 minutes, 3 rebounds, no assists, but he did have 9 points. Um, Also, Stanley Johnson, who played a total of 22 minutes. Um, he had 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and he also had 9 points. Now, the next 4 players of the Lakers was all in double digits in their scores. Trevor Ariza. Now, he's 35, 36 years old. He played 35 minutes, but he had a nice 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 11 points. Um, Trevor Ariza really, I think he really played well. Um, and he played a lot of minutes. But who I'm really looking forward to when he gets to come back is Kendrick Nunn. I want to see what he can generate um, for the Lakers. Uh, the next highest player for the Lakers was Anthony Davis, who played a total. He played more minutes than any Laker. He played 41 minutes. Now, but get this. Anthony Davis had 17. You heard me right. 17 rebounds, 3 assists, and 28 points. And I believe the other night he had 17 rebounds. He's a rebounding machine. He can score. He can play. He seems like he's healthy. Now, if all the other Lakers can get on board, the next 2 Lakers both scored the same amount of points, but we'll start with uh, LeBron James, who played 40 minutes, had 13 rebounds, 10 assists, and 29 points. Now, I thought this guy was injured. All of a sudden, he decides to play and gets a huge triple double. It's totally ridiculous. It is. Malik Monk played a total of 39 minutes, no rebounds, 2 assists, but he also scored 29 minutes. But when it comes down to minutes, assists, rebounds, it goes to AD and LeBron James. But again, I thought LeBron was supposed to be really hurt. Swelling in his knee. I've heard different things, a cyst on his knee, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he decides to play and gets a triple double. So the Lakers pull out a crazy win. So I don't know. I really don't know what to tell you from this time on, what the Lakers and how the Lakers are going to go forward. I hear all kinds of trade rumors all the time. Nothing comes to fruition. You can't pay attention to anybody on ESPN or any of those networks. Um, but still, with everything, I still do believe that LeBron is planning on leaving the Lakers organization. And whatever made him decide to play tonight, um, uh, LeBron, um, he's just very hard to understand, um, what he's really thinking and what he's going to decide to do. I hear, rumors that he is planning on leaving the Lakers. And then I hear he's favored to go here, favored to go there. But you also do know these are rumors until the man says it. But, you know, rumors don't come out of nowhere. They came from somewhere, and usually there is um, some type of fire lit, there is something to these um, allegations towards LeBron James. Um, but again, we'll have to see what happens and what comes to fruition within the next um, year, uh, and what he decides to do next year, uh, and everything like this. But if you know that LeBron is not going to play like he needs to play, um, and you can't make the trades that you need to make the trade, I believe you need to trade LeBron next season. I don't know if he's got a no trade clause or what, um, but uh, I think you need to move him before something does happen, and then he would be. You're not going to get much for him. Um, but anyway, I guess we seen. I guess I seen Ticket TV was talking. He said he guessed that LeBron went to church. Maybe he went and got baptized. Maybe he had a little holy water sprinkled on him. Um, all these are just, things that, we can laugh about, talk about because something happened. Something happened. Something's going on. Uh, I don't know if he just being a baby because he didn't get what he wanted. Maybe he wanted Vogel. He did want Vogel fired, and it has not came back. It hasn't worked out. Maybe he is angry with Russell Westbrook, where they have not been able to move him. Whatever the issue is, um, I would still like to at least see them make the playoffs. Win, lose. Um, I'm still going to root for the Lakers to finish strong. But we'll have to see. But anyway, this is your boy DJ7 for Life saying like, share, subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button, man, before you come in to my house. Wipe your feet and smash that like button. Leave comments in the comment section. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. We would like to grow to where we can uh, make bigger and better and do really um, get into making very good videos to where I can get the equipment that I need to make better videos, to do my thing. Um, so help support the channel. Donations are also appreciated. But anyway, this is your boy DJ7 for Life. And as we get out to end this stream, we want to say an honorable salute. And we got to see a miracle. LeBron James got his miracle. We're out of here.